Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Judy Logan, and today we are back with a detailed wig installation. For my returning subscribers, I would like to say welcome back, honeys. And for those who are new to this channel, do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I just want to say welcome as well. As you guys can see today, we are having an installation, and right now I am prepping my hair, getting ready to put the wig cap on. It's very important, guys, to make sure your hair is fed and so that it doesn't mess your hairline or any of your hair, because honestly you need to make sure it's really healthy underneath that wig. Okay, one of the other reasons I am doing this process is because I'm going to be keeping this installation for a week. So this process helped my hair, like, in order for it to not break because of having the wig on for a week. You understand? I hope you guys understand. So I'm making sure everything is laid back. You have to make sure your hairline is also perfectly fine. So right now we are going to be using Glimmer Spray. My wig cap is on already. I'm going to go ahead and spray it on the wig cap, but just make sure your hairline, everything is perfectly fine and you know where you're going to start spraying. So I'm going to go in with this spray. It's not exactly on the hairline, as you guys can see. It's a bit further from it because I don't want my hair to break, okay? So going nicely with it. I normally go in with 2 layers, and just leave it to dry naturally. I'm not going to be using any blow dryer for it. The reason I'm not going in with a blow dry is because I hate it when it gets so hard, and then it's gonna make it worse for me when it comes to blending the foundation onto on the wig cap. So right now I'm going in with a kitchen scissors. I feel like they work way better than the smaller scissors that you get. That's what I prefer using, so I feel like it's kind of making my job easier. And while you do this, you have to make sure you don't cut yourself. Just be careful with those scissors because they are quite sharp. And it is going to be a struggle because I already sprayed the wig. And since I have huge ears also, it's kind of like making it a bit hard. So right now I'm pulling, as you guys can see, I am pulling the wig cap to the back, a bit close to my hairline, but not really close. That's only because obviously my wig is not going to come to my eyebrows. I really would like a bit of my forehead to show, and also make sure I pull it a bit closer to my hairline and reassure that my hairline is protected and the wig cap is a bit further, a few inch actually away from my actual hairline. So I'm going to go in with the scissors, cut it off nicely. You will notice that there's like a few parts that are not really cut off. You want to make sure that comes completely off and everything is just laid flat, because you don't want your lace to lift when you have the install in. So just make sure you do that until you cut everything off, until it's nice and smooth, because you don't want anything showing, or else that installation is not going to last for a week. Okay, so that's how it should look, nice and clean and laid. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of shine. That is the glue, so you want to remove that before you move on to the Ghost Bond glue, because obviously it's gonna mix up together and it's gonna look way thicker and it's gonna look like snot basically. I don't know if you guys understand, but and right now I'm gonna go with a foundation of my choice, which is the foundation I use on my face, like the shade that I use on my face. Make sure you take your time blending that lace, honey. Blend in that closure until the guards come back, okay, because you want it to look like your own skin. Make sure you tap, you blend, you brush, whatever you have to do in order for that foundation to get along. And then you go back onto your wig cap, do the same process. As you guys can see, that is my shade. Blend nicely, and as you guys can see, you can see the difference between the wig cap and me. It's actually a bit lighter than me, so I'm just making it look like my own skin color. Blend in nicely, and I don't know if you guys can see in front, it's a little bit whitish. I'm going to remove that with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So do not worry, do not let that stress you, because it's like some leftovers from the glue, obviously the spray, the glamour glue spray. So right now I'm going to use paper towel to remove the rest of the glue. Okay, I'm using paper towel because I do not have I do not have cotton, which it sucks, but we use what we have. Okay, we're gonna make this work. Either way, we're gonna make it work. When you do wipe off, make sure you go on, it's either you rub it down or rub it to the side, but just make sure you rub it off nicely, and make sure you do not lift the actual wig cap, because that is going to make the process a bit longer, and you do not want that, because you'll have to go back in with your glamour spray again and wait again for it to dry, and honestly that's a whole long process. So make sure you wipe down or sideways, do not rub, wipe, pull it down. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with the wig. This is a 34-inch from Princess Hair. This is actually one of my favorite wigs. I just love this wig so much, because it is much more easier to work with. I think maybe it's because it's a glueless wig, but obviously it's not glueless on the side. But just the middle part, I can always just put it on and just go as is, open a middle part, and no one will notice if it is not laid on the sides or not. But in front, it's always secured. It lays flat, honey. You wouldn't tell that there is no glue put onto it. So right now we're going to be using Ghost Bond. I'm going to go with it and put a few dots. I do that because I've seen it on other people doing it, and I also feel like it is much more easier to control the glue than having to have the glue on something and then tap from there to your hair, and the glue might dry on whatever you would place it on. So that's why I just put a few dots on my forehead and work from there. As you guys can see, I forgot to shake the bottle. That's why it's a bit liquidy, because normally it's a little bit thick, but it's fine, it's not an issue. Just make sure you spread the glue nicely in order for it to dry quicker, because if you don't do that, it's going to take long, and by the time you apply the second layer of glue, and then it's going to be already dry, and you don't want that. You want it to be a bit tacky and a bit sticky in order for you to be ready whenever you want to put the wig on. Make sure you spread it out nicely. Take your time, do not rush, and also make sure that the glue is not dried. Okay, completely dry. Just make sure it's just sticky and tacky. And then you go in for the second layer. When you go in for the second layer, as you guys can see, on the other side it's a bit dry already. Right now the whole glue is dried up, so I'm about to go in with my second layer of glue. So I'm doing 3 layers because I want this wig to last for a week. I do not want to apply any spray or any wig within the wig, because I'm gonna have a busy week ahead, which is not gonna give me a chance of me doing any installation or anything. So I have to make sure this wig is laid to whatever. That's why you guys can see. That's why you guys are seeing like me applying a lot. But just don't put a lot in a way whereby you'll see that the lace is like crumbled up or wrinkled up because you put so much. You don't want that. So just make sure you put enough, especially with the third layer. You don't put as much glue you put on your first and your second layer. Just put a little bit more, just for control. Okay. I just put it in for control. I just put a little bit extra for control. Okay, spread it out nicely. Make sure the lace is not lifting up, the wig cap is not lifting up while you do that. Make sure it's completely laid. Okay, make sure it's completely laid. Wait for it to dry up, and do not take advantage of the white parts. Wait until it goes away. You want it to be clear. Okay, but also it shouldn't be dry, it should be clear. Wait for it to dry. Do not use any hair dryer. It's not necessary to speed up the process. If you want your wig to be laid to the gods, you don't need a hair dryer. Just let it happen naturally. So this is our last layer, and then we're going to move on to the next step. As you guys can see, I'm putting less glue than before, and that's because it's my last layer and I didn't feel like putting a lot because I know how it can get. There's already a lot from the ones that I put, but I'm just doing it because I want it to be laid for the whole week. Do the same thing. Make sure it's spread out nicely for it to dry more quicker. It is not going to dry quick if you put thick layers on, and then you'll feel the need of using a hair dryer. But if you put like a few and spread it out nicely, then it will dry a bit quicker. You can always clean as you go, guys. Clean as you go. So now it's spread nicely. Make sure your wig is pulled so that it doesn't tear up the closure when you kind of pull it up to the front. So make sure it's comfortable enough on your head, and just double check if it's comfortable enough on your head when you're about to pull it. The glue is completely dry right now, so all you gotta do is pull the wig to the front. Just be gentle, don't be rough as I am. We did kind of make a few mistakes here, but okay, we move. Is nothing that we cannot work with. So I like starting by the corners because I do feel like it makes my work a bit easier. But for some reason today it wasn't as easy. Maybe because I was stressed and nervous because of this video. But we can always make it work by lifting the lace properly up, because as you guys can see, it was folding here in front the whole time. So you can always make that work, either using your comb, the back of your comb, by pulling the lace off it. It's very tricky, guys. It really got hectic here a bit, but I kind of made it work. So if you do find yourself in the situation, do this, but do it as quick as you can, or else the wig, the glue, the ghost bond will be dry already. So make it as quick as you can in order for your lace to lay properly. Just double check, make sure there is no bumps and humps and wrinkles and whatsoever that's gonna cause your lace to look stupid. Now I'm pulling out the baby hairs on the side. I don't want baby hair all over my face. For some reason, I'm not feeling that as much as I used to feel it before. So I'm just going to pull the ones on the sides because I feel like it looks cute. But if you are a baby hair person, obviously you can just pull them to the front and make sure they don't stick. Make sure you remove the hair, because sometimes you'll find out that there's hair that's still stuck to the glue. So make sure you get rid of all that hair and make sure it's laid properly to the back. Obviously it is going to be a problem or an issue, but you just have to make sure they are out of the way, because I did find that with myself a lot while I was installing this wig. But it's nothing we cannot work with, okay? It's nothing we cannot work with. Yeah. So I know you guys can notice the glue that's left. That's because I put so much glue on it, but we can always remove that with rubbing alcohol. I intend to abuse rubbing alcohol so much. Ever since I got this rubbing alcohol hack, I abuse it. Hence why I have the huge bottle, because I know I can overuse it. Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe nicely, because you know how hectic it can be with glue. Wipe it off nicely. Take your time. It works on my nerves, but there's nothing that makes you more gentle than this process. So you just have to be patient enough and not be in a rush when you're doing this whole process. But look there, we are clean. I'm gonna go back in with the glamour spray glue, because I want the whole wig to melt. I want it to scream lace wear. Okay, lace wear. That's what I wanted to scream. Okay, so we're gonna go in with that glue and make sure it is laid properly. Tifuna itinga, tifuna itinga. Ungabonakali ne-scalp, ungabonakali nenwele. Okay, I'm just gonna use my hair dryer as well to go in, make it like extra dry before I put the hairband on, because what normally happens, it sticks when it's still wet to the hairband. So I don't want that. But anyway, it's gonna happen. It is gonna stick, but it's not gonna stick as bad as it would have stuck if I didn't blow dry it. Okay, make sure you use low heat low heat air as well when you do that. Tie it and make sure it is tight. I like it tight. Okay, I want it to be tight because I don't want to see the lace. I don't want to see any lace. Okay, so you're gonna make sure that is out of the way. So right now we move to the next process, which is combing and styling the hair. I really don't know. I'm not a hairstyle girl, but I'm just gonna try, because normally I just go in with the middle part and that's it. I feel like that's because it's more easier, but this week, and knowing that with this wig and knowing that I'm gonna be having it in for a week, I will have to do different hairstyles on it. So it's okay. We're gonna be learning as we go. So I think I'm gonna go with the side path. I always go, as you guys can see. I wanted to go with the middle. I was like, nah, let me change it up. Let me switch it up a little and just give them on the side. Just open it up on the side, okay? Yeah. The struggle is real. The struggle is real, but we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work, guys. Okay, trust the process. Trust the process. There is nothing that is more nicer than being able to install your own hair than going to pay 500 rand for an installation, because I felt like this is ridiculous. If you're not going to learn now, I don't know, but this is a perfect time for you to learn how to do it, guys. As you guys can see, I'm trying to give it all to you guys so that you can learn and not go pay that 500 rand. Pay that 500 rand when you go buy the products that I am currently using now, of which you're gonna have change from that 500 rand, and do your own installations at home. Okay, it's easy like that. It's easy like that. You're gonna make it work. You're gonna get it right at the end of the day. So this is me struggling to make this path. I've always seen this path that goes a bit skew, but guys and Donny, we're gonna make it work. If it doesn't work, it will look like something like it anyway. It will look the way I want it to look, and I won't be bothered. This is me going in with the hot comb. The hot comb is not hot combing, but okay, we make it work. We make it work. I think this hot comb was like 100 and something rand at Take A Lot. 160, if not 170 or 270. I don't know. I can't remember. but it's doing the things. It's really helpful at the moment, even though it's not that hot, but it does help. Same thing with my flat iron, because I was like, I'm going to be practicing on my hair, I'm going to be doing this on my own, so why buy expensive? And not buy expensive when I'm done learning, when I'm actually a pro in this. Right now, as you guys can see, these hairs that's standing up on top, so the wax stick helps it lay. Once you have that stick, that wax on your hair, the wonders it happens. So I'm going to go in with it, make sure my hair is laid properly, because I don't want any hair standing up like, I don't know. And it's also kind of helpful when you're in the wind also. So the minute you put that wax, even if you're in the wind, it will lay. Ibambe ucwango, inwele ilale kule ndawo bekuthiwa ilale kuyo. So I'm going to go in with my hot comb, make sure it is completely laid. I don't know if you guys can see the difference, but yeah, it is laid, honey. It is laid. There's no hairs standing up anymore. Everything is just nicely laid. Okay.
All the magic go. I followed the rules and told you everything you had to know. Had you over every night was passionate. Plus you met my mother even if it was an accident. I'm confused, tell me where we go wrong. I was sure that I would be with you for so long. I was planning on this being something worth mentioning.
I look cute already. Look at that. I kind of got it right, guys. It is laid to the gods. I love the magic wax stick has, but do not overdo it, because your hair is going to be shiny and it is going to make the hair lose texture if you put a lot. So please do not abuse it that much. Just make sure everything is laid. That's it. You don't have to put the whole wig on, and then you're making the whole wig stiff and it's going to look old. It's going to look stupid. So this is me removing the band. Obviously there's gonna be a few snots here and there. You're gonna find out there's white areas. We're gonna make that work. Do not worry. That is all gonna go away in a few minutes. Okay, you just need a color shade of your own foundation, and then it's all gonna be okay. I kind of forgot to lay my baby hairs here, but okay. It's okay. Go back in with that rubbing alcohol before you go in with your foundation. Make sure you remove the hair, because obviously the glue did hold a few hairs here and there, but just make sure that it's completely gone. Never mind that small piece. I'm going to go back to it and remove it. Pull it nicely, clean. If you want it to look laid, if you want your lace to be melted, make sure you clean as you go. Rubbing alcohol should be your friend. Okay, as you guys can see, I'm trying to lift the hair that's also glued from under to just look and blend in with the rest of the hair for it to look natural as possible. Just make sure your path is open nicely. Everything is fine. So right now I'm going to go back into the melting process for the white to move, to go away, to leave me alone. Just gonna remove the white and make sure my lace is glued and laid and stuck to my head. Okay, we want to make sure it's secured. We want to make sure it's laid and melted nicely. So I use this Isoplus holding spray for that, just for control, guys. You have to make sure there's no hair disturbing that lace. When someone look at your lace, they must believe that it's coming from your scalp. Okay, make sure that is all removed. I'm gonna go back in and clip this hair because I don't want to be disturbed in this process. As you guys can see, the glue is off and the hairs are all to the back. So this is a perfect time for me to go in with the color foundation of my shade. Make sure it's laid, it's tight. Ooh, nice and tight. And then we're gonna go back in with our foundation of your shade, whatever shade you use. Go in with that. I'm gonna be using this Fenty one because I feel like it's exactly what I want. I feel like it's a shade that I exactly love. I like that shade a lot. I don't know what shade it's in, but that is most definitely my shade. It's a little bit lighter and a little bit, because obviously your scalp is lighter than your face, okay? So you want it to look like it's really your hair, even though it's not going to look like your real hair, but it's getting there, okay? It's giving that. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference already. It's nice. It is nice. Everything is blending. Everything is well. There is no disturbance of any glue. There's no white, nothing. It looks like it's coming from my scalp. Okay. There is nothing that beats blending. Blend, 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 blend. Very important, that one. Very, very important. So here I'm going to go back in with a lighter shade of foundation, a little bit lighter, in order for me to draw the path line. I'm also going to use a concealer brush, the nice sharpish one. I don't know what do you call the brush, but yeah, it is a concealer brush. Go in with it. I'm not straight gay, guys. One thing about me, I become very shaky when it comes to this part, and I was a bit shaky, but I think I did well. I think I did well. Drag it to the front a bit because you want it to look real, obviously. And then after that, you go back in with that first brush, the blending brush you had with the other shade of concealer, just to make sure it still looks good. And then go in back with the brush. You don't need to use mascara really, because the minute you comb the concealer, it actually blends in with the color of the hair and then it like disappears automatically. I don't know if you guys understand that part. Okay, I think we are close to the end of this video. Just make sure the hair is nicely combed and like go in with a flat iron maybe to make it a bit more straight. I was kind of lazy here. I didn't do the most when it comes to flat ironing the hair. I didn't do a lot when it came to it, but the real idea, or the whole idea behind this video, was actually showing you guys how to melt your lace, and in order for people to not notice it, or in order for it to not show. Okay, so I really didn't do the back part, but I was like, okay, it's fine, remove. But that's how we look, honey. That's how we look. That's how it is done. Lace wear. Where, honey? I'm just gonna add a little bit of curl to the front, honestly, because I don't like when hair is in my face like that, so that kind of keeps the hair out of the way. But this is it, guys. Just 2 curls to it, and then that is done. Look at that. Look at that. Make sure your hair is combed nicely, guys. For some reason I didn't flat iron my whole head, because I was really lazy. But honestly, I think I did a great job when it comes to this wig. I did a great job. Look at that, honey. Look at that. Anyway, do not forget to comment, subscribe, hit the notification button, give me more ideas, tell me what you want to see next. Thank you for watching.